Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel W3Dots. Today we are going to create a CSS animation. We are going to create this loading animation using CSS HTML. To create this kind of loading animation, we are going to use pure CSS. We are not going to use JavaScript. Just we are going to use CSS and HTML. So without wasting your time, let's jump into the Visual Studio Code editor and see how we can create it. So here you can see, side by side, I open my Visual Studio Code editor and my browser using Live Server extension. And I already created a HTML document named index.html. With that, also we create our style.css file. So at first, inside the body tag, I'm going to create h2 tag. h2. And inside the h2 tag, I'm going to type loading. Then ... But in my h2 tag, I'm going to use data attribute. So here I'm going to type data dash text. Then equal to inside the double quotes, I'm going to pass the same text, loading. So copy the text and paste it inside the double quote. If I set this page, you can see the text in my browser. So this is our HTML part. Now we need to jump into our CSS file. At first, I'm going to import a form. Let me show you. Here you can see I import Poppins form and the font weight is 700. It's a bold font. And now I'm going to select universal selector. Star inside the curly braces. Our first property is margin. Margin 0. Our second property is padding. Padding also 0. Our third property is box sizing. Box sizing. And here I'm going to use border box. And then I'm going to use font family property. Font family. Font family. And here I'm going to use Poppins. And this font is from sans serif family. So after comma, I'm going to type sans serif. If I set this file, you can see the result. Here you can see the font result. You can use any kind of font. It is up to you. Now, let's style our body section. So here I will use body. Body inside the curly braces, our first property is display. And I'm going to use flex. I want to place this text middle of this page. That's why I'm going to use flex. Then our next property is justify content. Justify content center. Also, I'm going to align this item. Align item center. If I set this file, you can see the result. And then I'm going to set minimum height. So here I'm going to type minimum height. Minimum height 100 VH. With that, also I want to set background. And for background, I'm going to use RGB color. RGB. Also, you can use any darker color. But here I'm going to use some width. See, green value is 40 and blue value is 53. If I set this file, you can see this. You can use any dark background color. It is up to you. And then next, I'm going to style this h2 tag. So here I'm going to type h2. Then inside the curly braces, I'm going to type position. Position relative. Our next property is font size. Font size 14 VW. If I set this file, you can see the result. Now it's look perfect. And now I'm going to set font color. So here I'm going to type color and I'm going to use the same RGB color. So I'm copy the value and I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to save this file. And now you can see it's matched with the background color. That's why you cannot see the color. Our next property is text row. For that, again I'm going to use RGB color. But this time I'm going to change the value. And our value is 2, 108 and for blue I'm going to use 146. If I set this file, you still cannot see the stroke because we do not set stroke width. That's why I'm going to pass 0.3 VW. If I set this file, now you can see the result. Also, you can increase this stroke width. It is up to you. And now we need to replicate the shape using posterior select. For that, I'm going to type h2 : before. Then inside the curly braces, our first property is content. And here I'm going to use order function. And now we need to pass this attribute, data text. So I copy this attribute, and here I'm going to pass data text. If you notice, you can see our data text and our content is similar. That's why it's going to create the same replica. Our next property is position. I want to position it absolute. Then we need to use top left value. Top 0. Left also 0. And also I'm going to set width. Width. For now, I'm going to pass 30 pixel. If I set this file, you can see nothing, because we do not set any color and height to this element. For that, I'm going to use height property. Height 100%. Also, I'm going to use color. Color, and here I'm going to use a hexadecimal value. Hashtag 01FE87. If I set this file, now you can see the result. For now, I'm going to set width 0. It's not going to impact anything. Later, I'm going to show you why we need to use width property. Before I do anything, I want this text in uppercase. So here, I'm going to use text transform property. But before, here I'm going to use semicolon. And then I'm going to type text transform. Text transform uppercase. And then also we need to set stroke to this clone. So here I'm going to use this property and value. And after color, I'm going to paste it. But this time, I'm going to change the value. Here I'm going to pass 0VH value. Stroke width 0VH. If I set this file, you can see the result. If you can notice, here you can see there is no stroke on this clone. Our next property is overflow. Overflow hidden. If I set this file, now you can see the result. As you can see, our width is 0 and overflow is hidden. That's why you cannot see the text. But if I increase the width value, let me show you 40 pixel and then set this file, you can see the result. As you can see, it's loop, it fills the text with the color. Similarly, if I increase the value 90 pixel and then set this file, also you can see the result. So in the animation, we need to play with this property, width. So for now, I'm going to make the width 0 and then set this file. Next, I'm going to use another property, which is border right. Border right. Border right, and I'm going to use solid border. 2 pixel. Solid. And also I'm going to use a hexadecimal color. 01FE87. If I set this file, you can see the result. And if I increase the width this time, so here I'm going to pass 120 pixel and then set this file. As you can see, it looks like this line fill the color to this text. So again, I'm going to pass 0 here. And now we need to play with the animation. So I'm going to create an animation. Animation, and our animation name is animate. And I want to run this animation for 6 seconds. And our animation direction is linear. And I want to run this animation for infinite time. So here I'm going to use infinite. And now we need to create the keyframe. So here I'm going to type @keyframe. Keyframes, and our animation name is animate. As you can see, I typed wrong spelling for animate. So that's why I'm going to correct it. And I'm going to type the name, animate. Then inside the curly braces, at 0% position, again inside the curly braces, I'm going to set width. Width 0. And I'm going to duplicate this section. Now, at 70% position, I'm going to set width 100%. If I set this file, you can see the animation, how it's worked. It's worked perfectly. And if I play with some percentage value, with 0%, I'm going to pass 10%. Also, with 10%, I'm going to pass 100%. So at 0% position, 10% position, and 100% position, I want stroke width 0. But at 70% position and 90% position of this animation, I want the width 100%. So if I set this file, now it's look perfectly how it's work. This is exactly we want. So this is it for this tutorial. I hope you like this animation project. And if you want more this kind of CSS animation project, then write on comment section. Thank you very much.